the round table. Sorry, guys, for the inconvenience. Right now, we're going through something with the live right now, and definitely, man, we apologize to you guys for not being able to get on at the right time. So today we're gonna go ahead and get into this thing. I got with me the round table. Got this. Got the guests in the house with me. So we're gonna go and get it in on today. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys in here. Got today with me on the round table, my man Travis Trox. What's up, Trox?
What's good, y'all?
What's up, y'all? And then I also have in the house with me 313 J Mo.
What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? The show might be a little bit shorter today, but we gonna try.
We gonna try. Yep. Also, last but not least, I got the field general in the house himself. What's up, Mr. Luke G?
I'm in the building. I'm ready.
Hey, what was that? That was supposed to be a bugle or something, man.
That was like my marching.
No, that's that 1800s Renaissance horn.
Oh, here you go.
So yeah. So we also, guys, we may be having the Gridiron Blitz come in. We having some technical difficulties tonight. Also, Nomis J may appear with us on the show on tonight. But without further ado, we're going to talk some Lions football. You know what we do on this channel. We talk sports, period. But also, we're going to talk some Lions. So I know y'all been ready. So, all right, fellas, what do you think about the situation with Connor Cook being released and he not even getting an opportunity to go through the camp battle? So what you say, J-Mo?
I say to Connor Cook, and I wish I could say it to his face, honestly. How trash are you? You can't beat out Tom Savage.
Gotta be cool.
Like, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not scared of football player. I want to say it to his face, like, bro, like, how bad are you? Like, how could you not beat out Tom Savage? And, you know, the Lions, I mean, look, no matter what backup we have, the last thing that I'm thinking about is a backup ever playing, because Stafford is, ever since Eli Manning record got broke, Stafford is the most durable guy in the league. So I don't expect nobody to play. But now that now that it's just Savage and some random guy from the Dolphins that the Bears drafted, so that's how you know he's trash. It's just very disheartening, man. I'm just like I said, the backups are not gonna play, but it's just like, man, like Stafford go down, we literally have zero chance.
So y'all,
at least with Matt Castle, you had a 0.5 or 5% chance. Now that's completely zero.
So y'all figure pretty much with Connor Cook being released, because I thought he was going to have, from my perspective, I thought that Connor Cook was going to have an opportunity to do some work in the preseason and some camp battles. You know, I thought he was going to have that going on, but it looks like they're not going to even allow him to go through the camp battles.
And that showed you how trash he was. We ain't even allow you to go to the preseason, bro.
But don't now this guy that they they signed another quarterback from Miami, David Fales. This guy barely has any experience, and I believe Connor Cook has a little bit more experience than he do. So why would they
playoff game?
Huh?
I said, yeah, he played in the playoff game.
So yeah, I'm thinking why would the Lions decide to go that way? Talk to me.
Well, let's go back to the original question, you know, which is how do you feel? First of all, let me before I go there, let me do this thing. Let me do this real quick. Roll call. George Morgan in the building. D-Town, peace and quiet. We got General G. Berry. We got Inksters to LA. We got, I got to scroll on down. We got Micro Mike, another fellow DSA member. We got the Blue and Silver Phantom. We got D. Williams. We got John Hannon. We got Bob Money. I see what he did there, like Bob Marley, but Bob Money. I see what you did there. We got Top Tier in the building. We got Kevin Brown. We got Sean Jones. We got Nomis J. Go Lions. 3-on-3 Kurt. We got Sip Trot. We got One Pride 40. Alex C. We got Detroit Legendary Sports. AKA Willie K. We got B the Myth. We got James Willis, and I think I hit them all real quick. We got Antonio K and Craig Jockman. What up, though? Welcome to the show. And the first question talked out there, this kind of could be a release thing. I gotta kind of disagree with you a little bit, TA. He got a chance for a camp battle and he lost it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, every time you heard about an interception for going to one of those people on defense, I paid close attention. It was 18. It was him. Yeah. And so Savage threw one or two.
No, he threw a lot.
He threw. But 18 threw a lot. I'm telling you.
What you saying? He threw a lot of picks, or what are you saying he threw?
Here's the thing. The
or
thing
he has a noodle for an arm.
No, it's not even a noodle for the arm. Is that he threw a lot of picks, and they have made it very clear if you're not picking up on the playbook, you wasn't going to get it. Plus, anytime y'all see the media trying to say that Tom Savage arm is stronger than Stafford, they're trying to let you know that they talked to somebody on the inside who is basically saying that kind of Cook not getting it done. So it's hard to feel bad for a person who is not getting it done. And I made it clear before. I said if he allowed for somebody to come in and take his spot, fine. Now, that was all cool up until they did the following disrespectful thing, and that's bring in Fales.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you bring in David Fales, and David Fales not making this team. So
he's going.
Go ahead.
You think David Fales going to be on the practice squad? You think
he's not going to be on nothing? No, he's not going to be here. David Fales is brought in because Bob Quinn has said it before that he is always looking for guys that he can have an evaluation of that he can keep in the mental Rolodex in case of emergency.
Okay. So just like that fire. Okay, that fire.
Man, in case of emergency, put Prater at quarterback, dog. Let's stop that.
In case of emergency, break the glass and bring out David Fales out.
Right, and to me, it's one of those things where if you can't beat out Savage, like, bruh, come on, like you come on, you gotta do something to make yourself stand out. And often what this stuff is a popularity contest. Like, you gotta understand, there is who on this team has ties to Tom Savage? Who?
Pascaloni? I don't know.
I'm just saying. And for you to get beat out by this guy, and if I'm wrong about that, somebody please correct me. But for you to get beat out by this guy is beyond me. It's crazy that you're getting beat out by this guy. So for me, it really does boil down to it boils down to what happened in this situation. But again, Rob Quinn has said he keeps mental Rolodexing anybody that comes to his path on what their strengths and weaknesses are and how they can, provide for this team.
Luke, I know you're trying to be nice, but all that you just said was basically, how trash are you? Like, you basically said that what I was saying. It's like it just doesn't make sense that how could you like he does that's what he said. How trash are you, bro?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, listen, I just look at it and I'm like, bro, what's going on? Like, and sometimes it is a matter of getting an opportunity. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
But I've told you before, man, a lot of these people are here as camp buddies, and I know the biggest conversation is that we're going to get to it, people. We do see your messages in the chat, but in the meantime, we got 52 people in the chat, and we only got 21 likes. Now, let me just start off by saying, the minute the stream started, somebody gave us a thumb down. Yeah. To you, sir. To you, I love you. Because apparently you're not getting enough love at home. And so I'm going to be the first person to give you the love for that thumbs down, because we had not even said a word and you went thumbs down. Like, what you mad for? like how mad are you?
Wait, we got another dislike. We got another dislike. We got
tell them why you mad, son.
Right? Tell them why you mad. Like, and as the Gridiron Blitz, aka Derek, says in his best Liam Neeson voice, I don't know who you are. But I can tell you this: to that one hater, I will find you, and I will look for you, and I will. I'm gonna leave the rest like that, and just like that, man. Just like that, man. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I just think that one hater, because I'm telling you, that's praise, man. When you can just show up and disrupt somebody's being to the point where they like first of all, they had to put you on notification gang to even do that. So that's beautiful.
Yeah. So
but,
it's all good. You gotta love the hate.
But nonetheless, I just, you know, to me, Connor Cook, you know, kind of. J-Mo, what you say? I was saying, man.
He said they mad because we took so long.
I'm just saying, like, but J-Mo, what you saying? What you saying? I was saying about Connor Cook. There's so many
technical difficulties.
Oh, what I was saying, how trash are you?
I mean, I'm just, you know,
because it don't make like honestly, we didn't expect anything from either one of these guys, but the last thing we expected was for Connor Cook to be gone in the second week of June. Like,
I did not foresee this coming this quick.
I can't believe he's that bad. Like, I'm astonished
because Connor Cook was the first quarterback. Connor Cook was the first quarterback added to the roster.
What is that?
In the first quarterback deleted from the roster.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I mean, and it's true, but you know what? The people really want to talk about one particular topic right now.
Let's go.
Before we get to that, we're gonna circle back to this because it's some teams that have a lot of quarterbacks that I did want to talk about. Maybe we can find something. But yeah, go ahead.
I just don't think that. To me, here's the truth, people.
Because the Redskins got a lot of quarterbacks.
True, but the truth is you. How can I best put it? You don't wrap your money up in one positional group like that. That when only one of them is gonna get on the field at a time. You know, so if you had your money wrapped up in receivers, I can put 4 receivers out there. You know what I mean? I can put 3 tight ends out there. I can put 5 offensive linemen out there. You know, how many quarterbacks can you really throw out there? You know, and to me, if you're telling me that if you're telling me that the only thing I have to worry about is if my quarterback goes down, then that's life. You know, the truth is the head coach need to make adjustments, and if you go through and you look at a lot of the teams in the league, they don't have good backup quarterbacks.
Some teams do. Though.
Okay, hold on.
I didn't say all of them.
And you know, honestly, the teams that have the better backups are usually the quarterbacks who get hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, except for New England, who can apparently lose, was supposed to be the best.
Man, I don't know, man. I'm so confident in Belichick. I feel like if Brian Hoyer went out there, he would have been balling. Like, you can't tell me no different.
Now Buffed Up said in the comment section, he said Brock Osweiler is out there, Josh McCown, Mark Sanchez, Brandon Wheaton are all still available.
Oh, just a roll of trash. But I would take maybe McCown.
McCown has been here before, so I'm good.
Would you take McCown? Would you take Sanchez? I would take.
I don't want Sanchez, bro. I'd rather have Osweiler.
Nope. And what has Brandon Wheaton done besides make you mad? Brock Osweiler, I'm good. I mean, none of those are names that I would look at and be like, yes, sir. Let me get that.
I mean, but they better than Savage.
Craig Jackman
says, we're picking amongst trash here. You know, let's get the least dirtiest amount of trash. You feel me?
Hey, Craig Jackman says, who deserves more money, Slay or Snacks?
Snacks.
Neither. They should get fair market value. Period. I mean, who deserves a contract is a better question, but who deserves more money? I mean, they should get fair. They should get fair market value. But at the end of the day, if you're talking about breaking the bank on one of them two, then we already in trouble. So for me,
I don't think he's talking about that. He's just saying,
but if I was picking,
you pay more.
Snacks right now.
Because I know Craig. He basically said, who did you pay more? And it's Snacks.
Right. And first black man on the net says, okay, I'm off the T's bandwagon. It was Connor throwing him the ball. Just FYI. Just trying to put
my God. Come on, bro.
But I wouldn't be off the bandwagon, just yet though. First black man on the net. And the reason I say that, the reason I say that is because how can I best word this? The fact that he read and reacted to it was still something to be commended for. So we don't want to shoot something down based on who threw the ball. But that was one of the reasons that they went out and even added another quarterback, because with Connor Cook, he was not picking up on the playbook really fast, and he was serving the ball up and stuff.
And for the record, he did pick off Stafford too.
Wow. I mean, listen, that's fine. You know, the goal is this. The truth is, and it's a truth that many people may overlook, but I'm not, is the defense should be further along than the offense. The offense is new. If you telling me that the offense came in, if you telling me that the offense is coming in and they're destroying our defense, I'm worried. So the defense should be a little bit ahead of the offense at this point. Now, Craig Jockman says,
so Trav,
might as well sign Joey back. Nah, we're not gonna do that.
Joey, no, Joey.
Listen, they gotta. To be honest with you, there's a few moves the Lions could make, but it will require for these players to get released first. And if that happens, then I can see them doing it. But
would you sign? Sign RG3?
Nah.
Why not?
Okay.
RG3 plays for the Ravens.
I know. I'm saying. I know he's backing up Lamar, but I'm saying if you had that opportunity to get him,
here's why he plays for the Ravens.
Here's why I would
if you get the opportunity if he got released.
Here's why I wouldn't pick up RG3. RG3 had that one phenomenal rookie season, and he did that with the ability to run. RG3, the pocket passer, I'm not so confident in. I'm just not. And for me, if he become available, the question now becomes, how does he fit the system?
Same way Russell Wilson did.
All right, Trav, where you at? Hey, man, don't mention his name with Russell Wilson. That's disrespectful.
The same way Russell Wilson did.
Right, and I see Buffed Up got a message. He said his Lions got like 30 mil available, complain about paying two players an extra 4 to 5 mil like they don't have it. Well, here's the thing. Nobody is saying that anything you said is inaccurate, Buffed Up. But what we're saying is you need to be able to spend the money in a way that allows for you to maintain your cap while still having the ability to re-sign Kenny Galladay, and some of these other players that if you want to keep them. And so if you're not going to keep those players, then that's where a little bit of the problem come in there for me. But I think that's where it kind of gets hurt. Now we got Lions fans for life. What up, though? Welcome to the show, because I've never seen his name. But welcome to the show. But
what up, Lions fan for life.
Yeah,
I never spoke.
Right, it probably is, man. Probably goofy.
Chad, we need your daughter to fill in for you, bro.
Hey, right. I'm just waiting for my turn.
What you mean, bro? You gotta slide in the DMs, bro. What are you doing?
No, but I mean, well, I'm gonna touch a little base on the Connor Cook and the David Fales.
Okay,
like I do agree with what Luke is saying. Like, what Bob Quinn is trying to do is bringing in. This is the time where you need to bring in as many people as you can to evaluate as many people as you can. So when you do get in a tight situation. Oh wait, hold on. Shout out to Nicholas Aaron for dropping that $2. He says, "What up, Doe Colts? Wouldn't part with Jay Brissett, right?"
No, they're not going to part with Jacoby Brissett, and the reason is they want to maintain that backup quarterback. However, there has been some rumblings that Jacoby Brissett, if the right opportunity presents itself, will be looking to become more of a starter. So I don't see them releasing him, because the question becomes, well, who's going to back up Andrew Luck? He hasn't had a history of longevity and health.
And on top of that, he's also banged up too already. Andrew Luck, I'm talking about. I guess he has a calf injury or something like that already.
Hey, thanks, Nick, for that. Man. Appreciate you, Nick.
He made a glass.
But going back to that, like, you got to understand, like, we got to bring in as many people, because if we do get in a tight situation, we have all these people that we brought in, in this off season in order to, go ahead and say, okay, well, we know that he could do this, that well, but he might struggle in this area, or but then that's where like our run game and things like that will probably flourish more, because now we can hand it off a lot more, and then when teams are starting to crowd the box, boom, you got a 5-10 yard play rate wide open in one-on-one coverages.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Oh, go ahead, Luke.
No, I'm saying, but to me, you also got to take into account, you also got to take into account the Lions as it is right now. You got to take into account the team as a whole. So when you're looking at the way they're going to run their scheme, who they're going to implore to run the scheme, there has to be a way for them to have an impact and an effect on the game. Right now, Stafford's the quarterback. It is what it is. You like it, hate it, love it, whatever. He's the best option we have at quarterback. And I don't, I would be hard pressed for anybody to tell me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Now, let's get to the topic that everybody wants to talk about.
Let's do it.
Okay. Luke G has said many, 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 many times that he will believe any and all reports about Hard Knocks when it is officially announced, because he's not buying it. And he does not believe that the Lions would be the best option for that TV show. I just didn't believe it. I just couldn't attempt to believe it. I refuse to believe it because it just did not make any sense. And guess what happened, people? The team that I thought it would be, the Oakland Raiders, with their $100 million head coach, their NFL Network GM, their high-paid wide receiver who's disgruntled, Antonio Brown, the quarterback we don't know if the future, present, or past, and Derek Carr, the team who traded away Khalil Mack, are the pick for the Hard Knocks show. And this is exactly how I see it working out. So here's my opinion on it. Good. Bravo. Good job. I'm happy that they did not pick us, because I didn't want any excuses for why the Lions did bad. I wanted to be able, the Lions do bad, I want to be able to unequivocally destroy them if they do bad appropriately. But I just don't see that being the case. The benefit of us not being on this show is they can keep their focus where it is, and that's the most important part. Where y'all at, people?
Yeah, I'm really happy that the Lions didn't get selected, because it allows us to focus on what the task is at hand, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish, what we're trying to build, what we're trying to contend for. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm really ecstatic that the Lions did not get picked and the Raiders got picked, because there's just so much going on over there. And with the recent things with Antonio Brown and the back and forth, what he was doing with Juju Smith-Schuster, you know what I'm saying? It was just so much drama over there. So it was like, yeah, those are the right guys to pick.
and I like Roland G idea. How did Green Bay not get picked for this?
That is true.
That is true. They escaped it. Yeah, they did escape.
Green Bay escaped this. What better TV than Aaron Rodgers? Because
they're Green Bay, Luke.
It just seemed real suspect to me. New head. Oh, you know what? They didn't get picked because they had a new head coach. So that automatically disqualified them. That's what it was. Yep.
All right, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Now I will say I'm glad that it is the Oakland Raiders. On one sheer fact, it ain't us. So I am happy as all can be. But I always said if we did get selected, I knew Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia had a way to make it the most boringest show.
Yeah.
To where they cut it off early, because they were like, oh no, we can't have, our ratings are taking a plummet.
Right.
Because you got to understand, like,
and plus we didn't, you know what I'm saying? We didn't want to see no circus act.
Oh, exactly. Because it's like that takes like the fanhood out of it of like, what are we gonna expect? Like, we got more of a buildup towards our season now, than we would have if we seen Hard Knocks.
Right.
You know, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Trey.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, you know, and that's why I'm happy about it, is because, you know, we get to actually have a build up towards our season.
Right.
All right, y'all. Now bear with me, y'all.
What you gonna say to the people, Jay?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I gotta say, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Hey, shout out
I'm
to
not
Detroit.
done, bro. Yo, man.
Hey, hold on. We got a super chat.
Yeah, shout out to Detroit Drew. He said, I wanted the free content every week from it. Every week from it. That's what's up, Drew. I feel you, man. So you still, Drew, it's like you basically still wanted to see it still.
Yeah, now listen, Drew came in here and was like $1.99 and dropped it and was like, look, I just wanted the free content every week from it. And that's what you're gonna get from TA. TA is gonna give you all the sports you can handle, and that's how it should be. Roland G says, Luke, when are you gonna get the guy from Maryland back on who's talking their knowledge? The minute they give me my live stream back. Right now, I'm still in jail.
My live back. Hashtag Free G.
Right. But J-Mo, you finna tell us your thoughts on this Hard Knocks.
I'm telling you, this is all I got to say.
Okay.
I got sunshine on a cloudy day.
Boo! Yep. Where's the bottle? I gotta throw the bottle at him.
When it's cold outside.
Come on,
I got the month of May. Yeah. I guess you can say
forget it.
What will make me feel this way? No hard knocks. I'm talking no hard knocks. I got so much happiness. Raiders fans are miserable, and I love it. No more distraction in 2019. All right, nothing else to say, bro. When I saw that article, my girl popped in my head, and I started, and I'm done. Wow, I'm like, these boys got me singing, because I was a little bit afraid at first, because I was hearing some stuff. I'm like, there's no way we're gonna be on there, you know?
No, I didn't think so neither. I didn't think so neither. In fact, one of my favorite things was how Matt Patricia was like, I think the John Gruden and the Raiders will look really good on Hard Knocks. So he's the real MVP for letting it be known.
Right? He low key sneak dissed him.
Yeah, he wanted it to be known that he didn't want to be on there, and I think that's the most important thing. And that's the truth. That's where you want to be at. You want to be able to not be on a show that nobody's won on. Right. Nobody. It's almost like the Madden curse. You want to stay away from it. I see James Willis says, I'd rather talk about Ty Johnson. I mean, you really want to talk about Ty Johnson? Ain't no pass on. Reggie Bush was fast too. His career was
Reggie Bush was a good running back though. Here we go with this. We won't even do it today.
Listen. I'm not knocking Reggie Bush. But you look at Reggie Bush College and Reggie Bush Pro. Okay, there's a
lot of players like that though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And I had way higher expectations for him, but I'm just saying, in the case of Ty Johnson, he ain't got no pads on. Right? Anything somebody doing without pads on is nice. It's really nice.
Because all they doing is playing flag football right now.
And this is how I look at it. If you ask me, for me personally, I just think that Ty Johnson is going to be a utility guy. And the way he's going to be used is going to be like a utility dude. He's going to be used on reverses. He's going to be used in the punt and the kick return. He's going to be used on trick plays on special teams. But overall, it's hard for me to talk about the guy when, he is the best since Javid Best in terms of speed, but speed don't always mean you're a good back.
Yeah, he has to make it work out there on the field. You're not gonna really get to see that until preseason, really.
And I don't mean to say it like this, but it's just like Lions fans to fawn over the guy that runs a 4.2 when in reality Zach Zenner is probably the better running back. But it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, they like. I mean, because I'm concerned about him actually. How good is he gonna be? I mean, he's a utility, but like, can he actually run the ball?
And see, my biggest thing is I want to see Ty Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him, featured, in the preseason, because I want to see what this dude can really do. I know that the Lions right now, the report out there is that they've been impressed with his speed, and he's able to do other things besides just use the speed. He's able to catch out the backfield and stuff like that. But I want to see how good this guy is really going to be, because, man, just imagine him and Kerryon Johnson in the backfield and becoming the Johnson Express. You know what I'm saying? Two Johnson.
Yeah, my thing is, though, giving you that work. Agnew's supposed to be the utility guy. So where is his place on this team?
I don't know.
And that's my whole thing. Him, Brandon Powell to a much lesser extent, because he's in that return battle too. Because Agnew, Bevel was saying they're gonna use him on offense. So that's what I'm saying. Where is his place on this team?
That's a good question.
Because it would have Powell's the return guy instead of him. That's why with Ty Johnson, now obviously we want Riddick gone. I'm not 100% sure he's gonna make the team. Him and guys like Brandon Powell, but I'm confident Agnew's gonna make the team. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I mean, they got, obviously he's a good running back, had a good career in Maryland, really fast, but we got a guy that can do what you do. And obviously the thing that happened is Agnew got hurt, but people forget. Right after Agnew got hurt, Brandon Powell, our backup returner, also got hurt into the end of the season. And that's why we was, dead in the water like that. But I feel like if Powell didn't get hurt, our punts and kick returns wouldn't have fell off like that.
But see, is Ty Johnson really that home run threat? See, that's what I want to see. Is he really that home run threat with the speed that he got?
Well, what do you mean by
able
that?
To hit the hole? What do I mean by is he the home run threat? Have you ever seen?
If you give him a hole, yeah, he's a home run threat. That's a no-brainer.
How do you know
That's why I say, what do you mean by that?
How do you know that?
But see,
because
I think
he runs a 4.2, he can hit the hole and be gone.
Nah, hold on, wait. Now you know that I don't agree with T8 too much, but I no, he's right. Just because a person is fast does not make them a home run hitter. You have to have vision. You have to know when to turn that gear on and off. So yes, has he had home runs before? Yes, a lot of running backs have had a home run. But the more important thing for a running back is his vision. Okay, that's the most important thing. What is your vision like? How are you as a runner when you're trying to avoid contact and take on contact while getting between the guard and the tackle or the guard and the center? How is your gap run ability? Are you one cut? Are you a north and south? I mean, these little things make a difference.
Yeah,
4.2 is nice.
It's nice,
but I said if the hole is open, he's gonna hit it and be gone. But that brings me back to what I said earlier about
not true, though.
Not trusting him as a running back, because I don't think he's that good of a running back. I think he's fast.
I do like the first black man on the net where he said Johnson & Johnson, a law firm. If you talking about putting those two back there at some point in time, but I think it's going to be more like Johnson & Anderson, the law firm,
or Johnson and Agnew. That's why I don't think people realize that.
Agnew's going to get his fair share of fake outs, but overall, Javid, and that's the thing. Rocco P points out that one of the things about Javid Best that I love, and when I was excited that we got him, even though I know he had 1,000 injuries, was he had vision. He can catch up the backfield, and he had the speed to go with that vision.
He had that one-cut burst,
and his agility was stupid. Okay,
hey Luke, and I still think about that. What could have been if Javid Best wouldn't have never had those concussions like that?
Man,
we still made the playoffs that year, so we probably would have won a game.
And the worst part about it, that year that he did that was Stafford's best year. That was the year he made the Bears look real like they was on a different difficulty level on Madden. It was real rough. So
I still get mad about that, man. That guy.
I just feel like some fans are fawning over his speed when in reality he might not even be in the backfield.
Listen, D. Williams, man, spot on. He said Dwayne Washington was fast too, but had no vision. Facts.
Yeah.
Another person that has a lot of speed is what do you call it? John Ross. And I want to credit to Detroit or Lions fan for life. He said John Ross can prove the speed thing, but it doesn't make your vision good or your tackle breaking any better.
Right. And I feel like one thing is speed, and then there's game speed. Like Agnew, we already know he's fast out of the game, but in the game, the dude looks like faster than everybody on the field. And like Tyreek Hill, we know how fast he is, but in the field, he looks like the fastest player I've ever seen. So it matters in game speed compared to just running.
Right. So when you see Ty Johnson in the preseason, because you will get a chance to see him, that's when you're going to see what this dude, what Luke is saying about
better block for him.
Yeah, you're going to see that vision. Can he cut? Can he, you know what I'm saying? Can he stop on a dime and go up the field the opposite way? What can he do?
And on top of that, the thing that I love is
what's up, Aaron? What's going on, Aaron?
What's up, man?
What up, though, Aaron? The thing that I love is this. I love that. Like Roland G, you can't teach speed. Yeah, but there's something that goes to being speed. Now, if you telling me you put them on the track in the 100 meters, okay, great. You can't teach that. But
I hate when people say you can't teach speed. Yeah, and you can't teach 7 foot tall. Like,
but when you look at the way
that's a God-given ability.
Yeah, I mean, but when you look at the way that a runner back has success or not, what it boils down to is his vision. What made LaShawn McCoy so special, and I watched it, and I hate to bring it up, when they played against the Lions, and he's on the Eagles in that snow game. I said, look how he's running. He's adjusting his running style in the snow to get his cuts, and he's being patient. And his patience was at a higher speed. The way you process things is totally different. When you look at Barry Sanders would hit the line, and whatever you did, his eyes were so good, he was able to react to it and say, "Oh, okay, he coming down here too fast. Let me cut right here." He's understanding himself. Let me run past him. And those little things is what make a back really good. So I like the fact that we got Ty Johnson, but Ty Johnson is on the bubble. Like let's not play ourselves. He's on the bubble.
And it's funny. I hate you brought it up, but that's one of the things I love about LaShawn McCoy. His running style. Like, I've always liked the way he runs. Because he has patience and vision, and he really how can I say this? Like his conviction and his cuts. Once he decided to make a cut, he's going. So, and those are just things that you can have. We know Kerryon got all them skills. That's why I love the guy.
Okay, and I want to say this. I want to add this. This is what I would like to see from the Lions. If the Lions had that same thing, what Atlanta had a couple years ago with Tevin Coleman and Freeman in the backfield, that would be beautiful, man. That was beautiful because it was two young guys in the backfield causing havoc. Both of those guys can catch, and both of those guys can run. And if Ty Johnson can crack the lineup, if he can make this 53-man roster, that would be nice to have, especially if he has vision, especially if he can catch and he can bring something to the table. I kind of envision that for the Lions. That would be nice to have that.
Now, I will say this, though. I do believe he's going to make the team just because of the fact that Bob Quinn actually spent a draft pick on him. So, he doesn't like to cut a lot of people that he spent draft picks. And the thing, though, I see with Ty Johnson is I could see him and Agnew both on a trick play to really confuse a defense.
Yeah.
Because if you see Agnew and, he could run a trick play, you're going to think, oh, it might be a trick play. Now, if you have Ty Johnson and both Jamal Agnew, now you really can, catch a defense sleeping.
Yeah. You
absolutely.
Guard, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's the goal. That's the goal. The goal is to be able to create a mismatch that is harder on the other team. But I don't see like I'm looking at some of the comments, Aaron says Ty Johnson might take Agnew's spot. No, it's just that we didn't have no backup returner. When Agnew went down, our return guys was pretty much TA, J-Mo, Trav, and me, and it wasn't neither of us were any good at it. So they want to have a chance to let people do their thing, and to me, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah,
and I just feel like, to me, the truth is you got to be able to look at who's more than likely going to be the number 2.
Yeah,
it's going to be Anderson. It's going to be Anderson, and that's more than likely going to be the number 2. And it is what it is. Now, FYI, this is going to be a shorter video because we have so many technical difficulties. There's all kind of stuff going on YouTube that is disrupting what we're doing and things like that. And we're just doing our best to still get this show out here for you guys. And we apologize about that, But this is going to be a shorter video, probably over about 9:30, because of the technical difficulties. Or about 9:40, somewhere around that area. But it's still just not acting right. So just want to give y'all a heads up about that. Now, I mean, we don't talk about Ty Johnson. I want to talk about something that I think is.
I definitely got something too.
I want to talk about something that I think is very interesting to me. Okay,
what's that?
So, I got a buddy. He's a Cowboy fan. Yes, I brought up the Cowboys. He's a Cowboy fan, and so he was telling me I need to watch this video. So the first thing I did was, as I'm listening to the video, I'm reading the comments, and you know what all the comments said in there? And this video was old. And I started going through every different little Cowboy video I could find and reading the comments. And you know what each one of those comments had a comment theme of? Oh, the offense is too predictable, and that's partly because of Scott Linehan. And it got me to thinking. Here go a whole nother fan base having a problem with another coordinator that was here in Detroit. So now my question becomes to those people who are so skeptical: is the problem still the quarterback, or is it just possibly bad coaching from the head coach? Because when you talk to any Cowboy fan, they would tell you, yeah, man, we got this player, and then it always ends with, but we got Jason Garrett as a head coach.
Well, that's what I said the last time. Y'all, we only got 21 likes and we got 62 people. Let's get some more likes up here. It's up to 43 now. Let's get some more likes.
I just don't understand this. Like I sat here and I watched this, and I'm like, yo, everybody had the same thing in common. So it got me doing some more research and just want to see what the fans were saying. So I looked at a few other teams, just curious. I was like, dang, where's Jim Caldwell? Oh, I don't know. Steve Mariucci came to the Lions and left and went to the TV. Okay. Rob Marinelli is doing his job as a coordinator, but he was a good coordinator, right?
So is what's his name? Schwartz.
But outside of those guys, who might I have not been a head coach again. Good coordinators, bad head coach. Are we still skeptical about who was here calling the plays on offense and defense? Because two fan bases can't be lying. How can two separate fan bases who can care less about each other because we're not even in the same division have the same complaint about an OC? Now, Detroit Legendary Sportscast says Kyle Wells with Miami. He's not a head coach. He says, in my opinion, Stafford has not had a decent or even good OC until, and that's a key word. We don't know what Darrell Bevel's going to be, but I can tell you this much: the fact that he's willing to run the ball is the biggest start that you can have.
Right.
Well, what you said, it actually brings me to what I was going to talk about. Dan Orlovsky, he was talking about the coordinators. Then he mentioned, I forgot who the coordinator was back in 06, 07. I could care less, but the coordinator I want to focus on is Joe Lombardi and how he tried to insult Stafford's intelligence. And Dan Orlovsky's whole point was this: you can't come to Detroit and try to be the Saints when you don't have the Saints personnel. I forgot to coach the OC in 06, 07, but we were trying to run the great Rams offense, but we don't got Marshall Faulk in them boys. How can we do that without the personnel? And Joe Lombardi, he just kept calling Saints plays and kept calling Saints plays and kept calling Saints plays.
Right.
And it didn't work. That's why Daryl Bevel, I like him coming here because one thing I know about him, he has his own philosophy, but he's going to tailor it to our team. And he's done this on different teams, like Minnesota and Seattle. So he's able to adapt to what's on the roster. And like I said, the last show, even the most confident Cowboys fan in the world will tell you, as long as we got Jason Garrett, we ain't gonna be nothing. Like I heard Cowboys fans so confident, except for Jason Garrett.
It's very telling, though. It's very telling when you can. And here's the thing: their biggest complaint is, and I just saw in the chat where they said that Linehan wasn't that bad for us, but he was just too aggressive with his play calling. And the problem was the problem was that it wasn't so much that he was too aggressive. He was too one-dimensional. How do you have Ezekiel Elliott and you keep putting the balls in the hand of Dak Prescott? The first year y'all had success, you ran the ball. So
and ran the ball a lot too.
A lot. You know, they had 1,100 yards on the season just from the line of scrimmage. You know, that's crazy.
I can understand that point.
So how do you feel about us when we let go Terrell Austin?
You trash.
I like the Terrell Austin. I didn't think Terrell Austin was the problem. I thought the people bringing the talent in for him to do what he had to do was the problem, and he still made it do what it do. I thought that was
exactly. Yep.
I just feel like sometimes his system, he didn't adapt enough. I'll never forget that Panthers game where he just let Ed Dixon turn into Tony Gonzalez 3.0, and he just wouldn't adjust. And it just made me so angry.
But how was you going to adjust it though? Like, let's be honest about this. What adjustments could they have made? Could they have made for it? It just boils down to this simple fact right here.
So you saying he couldn't adjust?
Well, he didn't have a lot of the personnel.
I'm pretty sure Matt Patricia would have adjusted.
I mean, he would have tried to. You got Terry Whitehead who can't cover, and Jared Davis who struggles in coverage, and he was just coming on injury. Who was he going to adjust to cover him?
And that's what I'm saying. These are the little things that I look at when people say, "Oh, you don't never want to judge the quarterback," and I said, "Give him something that the other teams have."
Yeah,
I'm seeing in the comments they talking about Stafford has all these weapons, no excuses. When did we say anything different?
Yeah, we already said
it. And I always say this is the caveat though. The offensive line don't protect him. I don't want to hear it. I'm serious. You get sacked 40 times again, don't talk to me.
Everything is predicated on the offensive line. Without the offensive line, he ain't doing nothing.
No quarterback is, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how bad it was. You go through and you look at one of the most sacked quarterbacks this year. In the top two was Dak Prescott, but that's because Dak Prescott ran himself into a lot of those sacks. But nonetheless, you go and look at the NFC North by itself, and you can see where the Green Bay Packers gave up 53 sacks on Aaron Rodgers. Now the Lions swept them twice, but because they got that tie, which means they technically didn't lose or win, they got ahead of us in the rankings. Nonetheless, they would have finished fourth in the division this year. But what happened to Aaron Rodgers without no protection? He was frustrated. They didn't have no type of direction in terms of being balanced. They was one-dimensional. Aaron, go out there and throw.
And he got hurt.
And he got hurt. But see, the thing is, we don't give excuses for Stafford getting hurt. I'm not giving him one. And so for me, I just look at it and I say, okay, here we are having double standards when it comes to
my goodness.
And see, thing is,
Fred, hold on, Nomis, because this is the problem. Fred Jackson says, I don't care if you get sacked 40 times. They gave you a tight end again, so go make something happen. Andrew Luck came off, and Andrew Luck took his team to the playoffs, and Andrew Luck had Quentin Nelson, and Andrew Luck had the second best offensive line in the league. But we gonna leave that alone. Well, and then Nicholas Aaron says, Aaron says Stafford is the only QB that can be sacked 10 times in the game and had a fan base still blame him. Yes.
Listen. I had a very nice conversation with Fred.
Okay.
I'm going to bring it up at a different time. But one of the things I got from Fred, I understand his point of view better now. And Fred's point of view is one that he feels strong about, and I get it. Yeah. But I will caution you on this, Fred. I will caution you on this. Keep in mind, when talking about Andrew Luck, I want you to keep in mind, and I'm glad you brought that up because I got a video coming for that too. But keep in mind that Andrew Luck got the same things I'm saying give Stafford, and that was 2 tight ends in a run game with offensive line help
and a defense.
And he had a defense. Yeah, but I'm just saying, but I'm just saying they gave him a 2 tight end set with a running back and offensive line help. Their best pick was Quentin Nelson. They came out and did those types of things. So I just wanted to point that out.
Quentin Nelson is one of the greatest offensive lineman picks I've ever seen because they hyped him up like he was the second coming, and he was. Like, no one got to Andrew Luck because of Quentin Nelson and the other guy, but still, it was amazing how much protection he had.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, man, people know that Stafford gets sat like that, all the time. But my thing is, what I've been noticing from these people, they don't care. In their mind, he gets paid. No, seriously. In their mind, they don't care. Their mind is he gets paid a lot of money. And you know how Detroit fans is. If you get paid a lot of money, and no matter what, there's no excuse. You're supposed to just do something that you can't do. And that's just the way I take it from him because, it doesn't make any sense. If a man don't get protection, and I try to tell my friends before they, cut me off and try to act like they don't want to hear what I'm saying, is if I put you out there behind the line and then there's me running after you, do you think you're going to be safe?
No. Exactly. The man just said if he gets that 40 times, I don't care. And then he says, my only problem with Matthew Stafford, he's like a number 12 quarterback, false. And he gets paid like a top 5 quarterback. Again, false. Carson Wentz just got $100 million and he done nothing. Come on, bro. He's getting paid more than Matthew Stafford now.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford is now rated as, I believe, the 9th highest paid quarterback.
For real. Come on, man.
Only thing I say, if Matthew Stafford has a great offensive line, you're going to see a different Matthew Stafford out there.
And boy gonna be balling.
And what I be lying,
I know I looked at some of his plays before, and I'm just like, man, if this dude gets the time, he's gonna be killing them. He just can't get the time because by the time he say 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, they already back there.
Why do you think we swept the Packers? We swept the Packers the last 2 years. Why? They can't get to Stafford and he carves them up like night and day. Let's be honest.
Too, people don't understand the volume of how dangerous Darrell Bevel's offense is going to be in this division because you have to understand this. With our tight end sets, and again, I feel like they are going to run a 3 tight end set situation later on this. I think we should watch that in the preseason. They may do it. The personnel that seems like we have here is really going to take his offense to the next level that it probably hasn't been with his other teams.
Joseph Murdoch says, and then we're going to get to you, Trav, because you always falling back. But Joseph Murdoch says, yo, J-Mo, I'm thinking with Ragnow at center, the other positions will fall into play. Solid move for Rags to center. Quinn drafted to fix the guard position, and in my opinion, the competition is better. I've already said Ragnow going to the center is the greatest news of the entire offseason. I don't care what you say. Absolutely. But, all right, Trav, where you at, man?
I'm right here. Now I will say this. Okay. Now, anybody that's ever played football will know, no matter what, your offense or your defense is whatever your offensive or defensive line dictates. If your offensive and defensive line is weak, your quarterback or your middle linebacker or every other position will fail. You have to be strong on the offensive and defensive line. That's the only way you will have success.
Man, tell him, Trav. The battle is won in the trenches. That's what a battle is always won.
But that's exactly what
you look at the most successful team last year. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. Their defense was 31st, but guess what they were number 1 in? Sacks. And guess what they have on the other hand? Great offensive line. It just matters a lot. And even the Rams, they had a great defensive line and they had a good offensive line.
And another thing though is what do you call it? Bob Quinn, when he first came here, he says, I'm going to do this the right way. I'm going to build this team from the inside out. That means
which is what I thought Lions fans wanted. Isn't that what they talked about? We don't build the trenches, man.
They don't know what they want, man.
We ain't get no Lions fans pissing, but they all want the same thing. They want the great talent for a real cheap deal. That's what it is.
What up, though, Big Will?
Big Will's in the building.
Are the same guys that's mad that we got TJ Hawkinson over at Oliver.
I mean, to me, here's how I view it. I look at it like this, man. I look at it even with the Hard Knocks, and I look at with everything that you see right here. The key term that is used here is vision. Okay, it has to be a vision for a team. I'll give you a perfect example, right? Like Joe Flacco was playing really bad for the Ravens, and then they end up getting Lamar Jackson. But guess what? They realized Lamar Jackson was better at, those RPOs. So what do? They adjust the team to do RPOs. Yep. And then what they do? Yep. They have them go the ball short and run the ball and establish the run
to protect play action. Yeah,
right. And so to me, this is how you can tell the difference between a real head coach and a bad one. I mean, go and look at the Saints. The Saints, I watch Sean Payton sometimes let his ego get in the way of him. That cost him a game or two because I'm like, there's no way that the Saints should have lost to the Cowboys. But he refused to run the ball. And I'm like, why? Because he was too busy trying to show them up. So, that's one thing. Now I just look at that thing.
He was cool though. Yeah. Rick Foles, he excelled with the RPO. Doug Peterson was like, scrap the whole playbook, RPO time, Super Bowl.
Right.
Yep. It's about to your personnel. That's what I said earlier. That's why I'm confident. Bevel. Of course, I say I gotta wait to Game 6 to see how good he is, but I'm confident in Bevel because I know he's gonna use his philosophy, but he's gonna tailor this team to what we have, what our personnel is, what our players are good at.
Now, Marcel Edwards says, Luke, I need a woman analogy comparing Lions fans. Oh my God. Comparing Lions fans being wishy-washy between the trenches. And listen, it's like that girl that you get with who literally is always telling you don't listen to me, and then the minute you stop talking, she get mad and be like, you ain't gonna say nothing. Well, you want me to listen.
Hey,
you want me to listen. Now I listen to you, and you upset.
Super chats.
Oh yeah, we got a super chat going on. So Aaron Burton out there dropped the 2 bills in there. He says, Queen and Patricia is it. My whole faith is in them. And I think it should be. The only reason I say that is because so many Lions fans are frustrated. If they was excited about what's going on, like I'd be like, really though? And I'll give you a perfect example to explain to you the trenches. And this is story time. So this is me going, I gotta go back to high school for this. So I'm in high school, it's my senior year. I'm trying to get some more notice, so I'm trying to try a different position. So I go and play DN. And our D tackle ended up getting hurt. So, I'm not the biggest guy, but I was like, hey, I can play D tackle, right? So they was like, yeah, right. I said, no, I can play D tackle, because it's about that heart. Now, the guy that was in front of me was extremely huge. Like, I'm talking about refrigerator Perry big. And now I'm thinking that not only did I just get myself into the wrong thing, I may have overspoken too soon, okay? But let me tell you what I did. The first thing I thought about is how can I use my speed to my advantage from the D tackle position? And the first thing that I would do every time is I would come up stutter step, and the fat guy who's bigger than me would look at my feet, and I will bull rush him every time. Now you may be saying, well, Luke, what does got to do with anything? Facts. That game, we were not winning. However, once they moved me to D tackle, I had 7 sacks that game. 7. Because I was bringing so much pressure. It disrupted everything. They didn't even score another touchdown. The quarterback was looking for me. I wasn't even in the backfield. I was on the sideline. It changed the way that the game was being played. Right. Now,
Craig Jogman said something about he's the most confident in a long, long time in our running game than past years.
Yeah.
And I just think, Zach, like I said, Zach Zenner is the girlfriend that you always cheat on, but she always come back when every other girl break your heart. Zach Zenner is there. Like, that's Zach Zenner, because like every time we say he ain't nobody, he's nothing, everybody go down. Who's here to save the day? Zach Zenner. Double Z, as I call him, the Great White Thunder. But with the Great White Thunder, CJ Anderson, and Kerryon Johnson, I think our rushing attack is going to be ferocious, to be honest.
Well, let's shout out
along with TJ Hawkinson too, and Jesse James.
Hold on, J-Mo.
let's shout out Marcel. I don't know why J-Mo don't be
shout out to Marcel,
but shout out to Marcel Edwards. $3. He says thanks, Luke. He needed that female analogy, and I gave it to him. And he dropped.
And thank you for the donation.
Now, Roland G says, Luke G, don't forget about our deal. The Madden 20 draft day is a big deal this year. Madden, we need to go through our alliance on stream. I mean, listen, we gonna get to it. I ain't forgot, but make sure you remind me because I got a lot coming up soon. Luke G gonna have a new lion cub in the building soon. So,
all right, and your cub better be a Lions fan, not no Seahawks or Bucks fan.
Man, right? You feel me? You feel me?
$20.
Nicholas Aaron says, I'm 5'3" and stocky. In the 8th grade, we went undefeated, and I started nose guard. Luke is right. It is the heart. Yeah, man. Listen, I was small. It's always the heart. I was small, but I knew technique. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. When I was growing up, I had a chance to meet some players that really gave me some information. Yeah. That worked for me. I got a chance to meet the Ray Lewises, the Javon Curses. I got a chance to meet Steve McNair, Eddie George, Derek Mason. And I got a chance to meet all these different players and stuff and talk to some really cool people who gave me some information that I used on a regular basis. And that's why when I play the game, I play it from a technical point. When I watch the game, I watch it from a technical point. And so General G. Berry says, congrats on your pride growing. Hey, appreciate that. Thank you. Your pride growing. Roland G says, you eating a lot of vanilla bean. Hey, that might have been one of those Dragon Ball Z Sensu beans. You know how when they hurt, they got to get that Sensu bean in them, you know. But listen, I want to bring this up to close the show out because this is going to be kind of a crossover. So we have seen Earl Thomas on the last year of his deal get hurt. We've seen Kevin Durant just pull his Achilles after that. He told him, I'm not a go, but he went out there to give him a shot and he pulled his Achilles.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That was bad.
I don't even like KD, but that was horrible.
Okay, well, KD. First of all, that's the first problem. You should have loved KD, but that's another thing. But listen,
I don't have to love a superstar that ain't from my team.
Listen, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. But listen, here's the thing. here's what I noticed. Here's what I noticed about these injuries and what they have in common and what they could mean for the Detroit Lions and the NFL as a whole. What you're gonna start seeing is the holdouts is going to get even more worse, and that last year is going to get even worse because players are not going out there no more on that last year of that contract. That's what you're going to start to see. If they're on that last year of that contract, they are not, they're not going to go out there. And my thoughts was this. I wanted to bring it up because I was like, it's similar in a lot of ways to what's happening in the NBA, in the NFL, in terms of these injuries and how often they are occurring. And it makes me wonder, what are the practice things that are going on that's causing these things to pop? I've never seen so many. Back then, basketball major injury was knee. All these Achilles are popping. It's crazy.
It's a lot of Achilles injuries.
Well, you want me to tell you what I think it is? And I don't even like saying it like this, but they treat us like not just us, because it's just white Mexicans, every race in these sports, but they treat us like machines and not people.
Yeah.
And, even machines.
It's all about entertaining me.
Because Kevin Durant had. The Warriors was pressuring him so hard, just like the Spurs with Kawhi Leonard trying to pressure him to come back. Kawhi was like, no, I ain't coming back. I know my body better than y'all. They pressure him so bad. And this dude comes back and tears his freaking Achilles. Like, what?
It's just crazy because I remember in the NFL, it was a lot of shoulder injuries, but now you're seeing a lot more knee injuries. And it's like, there's a correlation to what the NFL is doing and trying to get these people through these training camps by giving you less days of working out and stuff like that. And
just to piggyback off that too, I think that's the reason why a lot of the players want guaranteed contracts now.
Right.
Yeah. And Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, that whole situation, people are trying to follow Le'Veon and stuff because that's why they're going in that second to last year and not the last year.
Yeah.
Now D. Williams says low top shoes, but D. Williams that has been debunked. Science has debunked the height of shoes as being a way to stop Achilles from doing it.
I never liked the hoop in low top shoes. I always had
never low cut.
Here's what they said. They said that if low top shoes were a result of a lot of Achilles injuries, then you should see it across the board. And what they were noticing in all sports that use low top shoes, like track, soccer, they were not seeing a high volume of Achilles pulls.
Yeah.
But I just feel like those are different sports.
Right, but those sports require you to use that Achilles a whole lot more than you think. So
well, no, definitely they do. I just feel like it's different when it's basketball and football.
You know, and to me, I just look at it and I say, man, it's something going on that these injuries are occurring at this rate. But this is why, for once in our lifetime, and I think nobody said it better than Stevie when he said, "For once in our lifetime." When he did that, he was letting you know how he was feeling about that moment. For once in our lifetime, man, we really have a chance to be okay because we got depth. And that's all you're seeing. Every time you hear Luke be like, it's because he already know that these people that they're picking up are depth people. Now Patrick Taylor says, he says, I know I'm late as you know what, but what up, y'all? What up though, Patrick?
What's good, top tier? We know you came in here later, but we did talk about Hard Knocks a little bit earlier, so make sure you go rewatch that.
Yeah,
but you know, it's just, and like I said, another thing is I just feel like, at least with basketball, these teams pressuring these players to play.
I mean, there's
because of that whole Kawhi Leonard situation. I mean, the Spurs basically trashed him and said he was garbage, and kicked him to the curb. And now look at him; he was right.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's another thing. That's another thing right there. When you look up, how much money did KD just lose off of that injury?
At least 50 million.
Yeah, some teams said that they still would sign Kevin Durant, even if he has to take a year off. They still would sign him.
Why you think
I'm with you on that, but how much money did he lose?
Huh?
I said about 50 million.
Yeah, he lost some money. You can believe that.
I mean, and now it's like he might just sign back with Golden State just to say, you know, forget y'all and, you know, charge them $30 million because he got a player option. But that's basketball stuff. But
why you think Cousins did what he did? Because he was saying basically the same thing. So
but this happened a lot. I mean, you remember how Deshaun Watson tore his stuff? Carson Wentz. Deshaun Watson tore his stuff in practice. Like, how does that even happen?
Right, but he sat out though. He didn't come back at all. He didn't come back. And the truth is
I didn't expect him to come back. I'm just saying, how do you tear your quarterback? You tear your ACL in practice?
How is Dez doing? Dez Bryant? Because I know he tore something.
Dez out the league. What do you mean?
But I think doing. He was on the trying to get on the Saints.
No, he's out the league, bro.
No, listen, right now Dez ain't got a team, but he's still working out though. And the truth is, and it's like I said, it's one of them things where I think a lot of times you can learn so much stuff from looking at other sports. And the truth is for the first time, we got depth. We ain't got, if somebody go down, I'm not so panicky. And it's not that we just have depth. We have depth with money. That's the best thing to have. That's like going to Vegas with $20. You know you're gonna blow that. But if you can go to Vegas and you got money to blow, you're doing everything.
Money to blow. No, but Luke, I like what you said though, because now, I mean, we want Carry-On to finish out the season, but if Carry-On was to go down for a month, now I'm not terrified. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we still got CJ, we still got Zenner. I'm like, okay, we'll be able to make it through this. Trey Flowers get hurt. I'm not terrified. You see what I'm saying? We lose a defensive back. I'm not terrified. And I think that's really how it's been with the Lions. Like when Ziggy Ansah, every time he got hurt, all the Lions was like, well, there goes our pass rush. That's all, folks.
The other reason why you had to credit that.
Go ahead, no.
Oh, I was gonna say the other reason why you have to credit the fact that we got depth is due to the fact of the system that we play on both sides of the ball. So now you got so many guys that fit the system, it's a little bit easier to have depth. It's not just about the money. I think all three of those phases tied together.
I mean, and ultimately, listen. It could have been because of anything. It could have been because somebody sneezed or whatever. I don't care. All I know is we got depth. You know what I mean? It's literally like the pimp who loses one girl and pick up 3 more. Who cares? He's like, I can care less.
They got a girl analogy.
Like, man, you can go. You ain't even my best.
G about to make me pull an Eddie Murphy. We got dab, and you can't get none.
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you, like, hey.
But one thing I want to say before you end it, TA, is that's what Lions fans. I want Lions fans to realize is it don't take. You can't build depth year 1 and year 2. It takes 3, 4 years, 5 years to build depth, and that's what Bob Quinn has been doing over these 4 years. Like you can't do that in a couple years.
Which is why
it takes multiple years to do something like that.
Which is why he's so heavy on
build a deep football team.
And I will say this: all you guys talking about, if this person, that person goes down, y'all better go to church and pray for these people that they don't go down, though.
Yeah.
Hey man, we being optimistic, man. We're knocking on wood right now, man.
You never prayed before. Now.
I mean, it's still a few guys that we could lose and it would be all bad. I ain't gonna even say
Trey Flowers to the ground.
Oh no,
I'll be fine with Flowers, but there's some other guys on that O line that if they went down, I would be scared. But we ain't gonna say their names.
We ain't gonna mention no names. We ain't gonna mention no names.
I totally agree. I'm just saying, like, man, we can't. I mean, even though that we do got depth, I don't want to lose nobody because, that's the
100% injury sport, man. Somebody gonna get hurt.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm just saying, like, well, if somebody gets hurt, I don't want to be like a long-term like season ending. Because that's where a lot of our downfalls near the playoff time has came from.
Mm-hmm. I just look at it like this, though. I look at it like this, Trav. I look at it like this. If somebody do get hurt, it's gonna happen, right? If somebody do get hurt, and they can come back and play, I just don't hope that they don't do what I believe Ziggy Ansah did, which is sit out for no reason.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the days of players being like that is kind of
because a lot of those players are doing that to avoid training camp, and I got another podcast show coming up soon that I'm gonna drop because I got some other things I want to talk about, but we short on time, man. I know you got to get out of here, TA, because TA can go to watch his future NBA players get their ball on. So we gonna wrap this thing up, people. Let's go ahead and start that roll call. Nomis, what you got for us, man?
Yeah, go ahead and go.
All right, what I got for y'all is that I got 2 videos first off in development, and thank y'all for letting me come in late. And as far as the Lions go, man, at the end of the day, we want the team to stay healthy because at the end of the day, no matter how much depth you got, it's the healthiest team that got the best chance to win.
Man, say it again, Nomis.
Without no healthiest team is the one that got the best chance to win. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we want at the end of the day. And I pass it on to Luke to do whatever he need to do. Thank y'all.
So shout out to Ed Whiten who dropped 2 bills up in there and says that Bevel, the first proven OC Lions have had that's good at what he do. Hey man, I think the ability to just bring balance to the team is the most important thing. Because balance, people seem to think we're gonna be this super run heavy team because of what he did with Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson wasn't poised to do what Brett Favre did. When you go to that Vikings team, they was throwing that ball down the field while running it. So different teams bring different things, but appreciate you dropping the 2 bills in the building for us. Travis, what you got for us, man?
I just want to say thank you guys for joining the roundtable, and sorry for the technical difficulties. Yeah, and be sure to check out the Piston Center Court on Wednesday at 8 p.m. It will be on my channel, so go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And we will be having a draft special on next Thursday, which is the 20th of June, and we will be starting that show on my channel at 6:30.
Okay. All right. 313 J-Mo, the heart of the city. You up?
What's up, everybody? I just want to say that Hard Knocks, us not being on it, great thing. Connor Cook being beat out by Tom Savage. I just laugh all night at that because it's ridiculous. And Darren Orlowski shedding some light on how bad of a coordinator who doesn't have a coordinator job now, Lombardi is. Just shows you that it's about the system and it is about the personnel. I still like what I'm seeing in OTAs from our players, and I do want to say y'all definitely want to check out the Pistons center court. I mean, we was in the chat, even a little bit in the show, talking about basketball, Golden State, KD's Achilles. I mean, everything. So make sure you subscribe to Travis Troxel Sports Talk, because it's gonna be a lit show tomorrow, because it's a lot to cover, man. And we gonna be here at 8 p.m. Nomis is gonna be in the building. So Detroit Drew, myself, Troxel. So y'all definitely don't want to miss that, man.
And don't forget CA3, Carl Alexander III.
I don't know if he's gonna be there or not, so I didn't tell
you.
Okay.
Also, please make sure you go and subscribe to our newest member, because I did not get a chance to announce it. We do.
We got to get him on here.
Member with the DSA, Positively Detroit 9071. He does have a YouTube channel. Please go over there and subscribe to it. It will be linked in all my videos. You should be able to see it. If you don't, hit me up. I will make sure I get the link for you, but it should be there. It should be also linked in the Gridiron Blitz's videos and pretty much all DSA members' videos at this point. We should all have it in our videos so we can get him there. So congratulations to him on being the newest member of DSA. Love what the guy is doing over there. In terms of Luke G himself, Luke is going to keep trying to get these videos out as fast as he can. Right now, my job apparently seemed to think that some people were never free, and they getting all they can out of me. Overtime is a real thing, people, and it happens more often than you think. But nonetheless, I got videos coming. I'm going to do the podcast. I'm going to do a lot of other things just so I can get the material out there. And let me know if y'all like that podcast or not. But outside of that, I leave you guys with this great piece of advice. As always, don't be no chump. Please do your research.
All right, y'all. You know how we do it every Tuesday. Y'all know how we do it every Tuesdays. And
hey, we got a super chat.
Oh, super chat. Yeah, okay. Super chat. Shout out to my man Aaron again. We the sleeper team, but we got something for that. Bling, 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 bling. All right.
Hey, Trav, y'all been naming that like it's a sub.
I did. I put what up.
You got a chance to say what you okay. So all right, y'all. You know what we do, man. We do this every Tuesday and every Thursday. You know what I'm saying? We bring you the heat, and on Wednesday they bring you the heat with the basketball. Make sure you subscribe to the DSA, Detroit Sports Alliance. You know what we're doing. We're bringing that unbiased media to you, bringing you that positive outlook on your Detroit Lions. So definitely, guys, we appreciate everybody for chiming in on the show tonight, and we'll be back to you on Thursday. Maybe this channel or maybe the Gridiron Blitz, but you know we're always gonna bring that hashtag facts. All right, you guys.
And shout out Micro Mike and Gridiron Blitz too.
Shout out, yeah, definitely shout out to you guys.
Fellas.
And risky football talk.
All right, you guys. You know we like to say how we close the show on here. We like to say good morning, good evening, and good night.
Hashtag facts.